Once again, my name is Chef Afi. I am your chef instructor today. I have been with Family Fun in the Kitchen for, let me see, since June. So this is my 4th month teaching. And I enjoy it, especially the in-person ones, because I actually have my own cooking company where I teach plant-based cooking. And so I'm super excited to be in this realm where I can actually keep teaching on an in-person basis, guys. So awesome. So I'm glad to be here today. We are making veggie dumplings, if you see that on your menu. It's a 2-sided recipe. So on the back, it has the instructions, because the instructions are kind of, it looks more complicated than it actually is. It's just that when you write it out, it just looks like a lot. But once we get started, you'll actually kind of see it's really simple. I have a couple of vegetables that I got from a garden. If you guys don't know, this week was Harvest Week, and there was a lot of different gardens around the city who had openings where you can go and visit and pull vegetables and things like that. So I went to a garden that was on like South 20th Street, and I got a few things. So I've got some fresh bell peppers that have been sitting around a little bit. So I was like, oh, I'll just bring it to class. I got it last Sunday. And then these are just different kinds. They're not hot. They look like hot peppers, but they're actually not. And then this came from, so on Thursdays, I set up at the downtown Newark Farmers Market to solicit, and I do food demonstrations there on Thursdays. And one of the farmers gave me some kale, and then this is called a bitter melon. So I don't know if anybody's ever seen this before. It's a type of fruit. I've never had it before, so I'm just actually just gonna cut it into it real quick and just see what it looks like on the inside. So we'll both be surprised. I've never done this before. And they were like, oh, we've never had it. And I was like, okay. So this is what it looks like on the inside. It looks like a lot of different seeds. Because this is the first time I'm seeing it myself. Let's cut it in half.
What is it called again?
Bitter melon. Yeah. So it's seeds, and apparently it is bitter. They make other, I guess, teas and, you know, something else. I'm not really sure what else you make with this, but I was like, hey, it's super cool. I love being introduced to new fruits and vegetables. All right, so let's talk about what's in your bag today. If you open your bag, you have several different things in there. You have a container of tofu. Yes, tofu. You should have a carrot in there, so you can pull that out. And then you have some cabbage. This is red cabbage. And then let's see, you've got some green onions. And this recipe is pretty easy to start off with. We're gonna do pretty much everything in the bowl. The only thing that you're actually going to cut with the knife is the green onion. Everything else is actually going to be grated. You guys should have a grater on your table. It should look like different ones. Everybody has a different one. What's gonna happen is you're gonna put the grater in your bowl, and we're going to grate pretty much all of these vegetables except for the green onion. The green onion is actually gonna get cut. So that's why you have your knife on the table. The tofu is actually just going to be, we're gonna take it, this is when we're gonna be a little messy, guys. So we're gonna actually take the tofu and we're gonna crumble it up in the bowl after we get all of the vegetables grated. And then we're just gonna mix that up. We're gonna add our seasoning. So you should have a little silver container of soy sauce. That's actually gonna be for a little bit later. We'll add just a little bit, but it's really gonna be for later so you can dip your dumpling in there. You've got garlic powder. You've got onion powder. You've got some chili powder. And then we have a little toasted sesame oil. And all of those things are just gonna get mixed in there on inside this bowl. We're just gonna mix it up. And then, these right here are called Wonton Wrappers. Hi, good morning, how are you? I'm Chef Afi. If I could just have you sign in right there. Are you a part of it too?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you over here. I remember you. You came from the market. You signed up at the market. Did you sign up at the market? Okay, yes. So I'm gonna, once you wash your hands and sign in, there's a sign-in sheet right there at the table. Now I'm gonna have you at this table right here on the side of me. We're just going over the ingredients right now. So I'm gonna have you at this table over here, ma'am. Once you wash your hands, I'm gonna have you at that one. So in this little thing, don't open these up yet, guys, because these will dry out. So we're gonna leave these closed until our filling for the dumplings is ready. These are wonton wrappers, and they're actually just made out of dough. What is it? Water, cornstarch, there's a couple of other things. And it's just a real flat dough. And basically what's gonna happen is we're actually going to take this and spoon it into our wonton wrapper. Sharon, could you do me a favor and put some teaspoons down on everybody's table? I think there's teaspoons missing. Thank you. We're going to spoon this inside of the filling inside of our wonton wrapper. Then you guys have a skillet, and it's what is called an induction cooktop. This is actually like a little portable stove. So you get to cook on top of it. So we don't have to be in a kitchen to actually use the stove. All right, as soon as we get them to come on over. I was just having you can have a seat. I was just going over the ingredients, so you can open up your bag. Yeah, the teaspoon should be in the top drawer. No, I'm sorry, not those, like the regular spoons, like regular teaspoons. Okay, you guys have one? Okay, everybody has a teaspoon on their table? Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because I didn't see them. Okay. Awesome, awesome. And what was your name again? Wow, okay, can I have you just go ahead and pull your ingredients out of your bag? You should have a jar of tofu. You should have red cabbage, carrot, and then some green onions. Okay. And then you also have the wonton wrappers. And then the seasoning for all of this is actually garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder, and toasted sesame. We're gonna use just a little bit of the soy sauce, but we're not gonna use much. That's actually gonna be more for later. So we'll go ahead and get started on our first vegetable. You're gonna make sure you take your grater and put it inside your bowl. You're going to leave your cabbage whole like it is, and you're just gonna use the larger part of the grater, which are these big holes, and you're just gonna grate down into the bowl. You're gonna do this until you get it all the way down. Even if you get a few big chunks, don't worry about that. And make sure you keep your hands kind of closed up. We don't want anybody to grate their knuckles. That's not fun. Do you want to cut that in half for him? And you know what? I'll have you, if you have him start cutting the green onions, one can cut the green onions. You're just going to cut those in little pieces so that he can have something to do too. So for those who have two people at the table and you need something else, so we'll talk about knife skills kind of real quick while I'm doing this. Basically, what's going to happen is you're just going to actually cut your green onions into little round slices. So I'll just go over knife skills real quick. The proper way to hold a chef knife is to grab your hand around the handle, take your thumb here on the front part of the knife. Your hand goes here in this position. This is how you hold a chef knife. No fingers out here. You don't want to see that. That's dangerous, and the knife can slip and you can cut yourself. Okay. So basically what's going to happen, we're going to take that opposite hand and we're going to bear claw our fingers this actually protects our other hand from getting cut. And you're just gonna slice down and keep slicing all of the onion. As you're slicing, you can move your hand backwards. So I'm gonna finish grating my cabbage. So that has a guard on it, so you just take the guard off. Yes. And your name is again?
William.
William, okay. Hi, guys. How are you? That's okay. Oh, no problem. Thanks for coming all the way out. Okay, we're gonna have you at this table after you've washed your hands. Yes. So I'll get you caught up once you have a seat. Okay. And what was your name again? Loretta. Loretta? Jasmine and Jonathan. Nice to meet you guys. I am Chef Afi. We heard some exciting things. Oh, well, thank you. I'm so excited to be teaching this. Yeah, the trash should be back there. Okay. All right, so if you want to go ahead and open your bag, you're making the veggie dumplings. In your bag, you should have a bowl of tofu. We've got red cabbage, carrots, and then green onions. Thank you. Okay, now with the knives, I'm gonna ask that you set the knife down because we don't want any accidents. These knives have guards on them and they're super sharp. We do have a first aid, but I don't want to have to administer first aid. Messiah, can you do me one favor? Can you get 2 knives and 1 more cutting board? Well, actually 1 extra knife and 1 other cutting board. So what I had them do is one person can grate. You're just going to take your grater, put it inside the bowl, and you're going to grate your cabbage. And then you're going to do the same thing for your carrots. While one person is grating the cabbage, somebody can actually cut their green onions. And if you want to come a little closer so you can see, I just went over knife skills. Basically, the proper way to hold your chef knife is to take your hand around this part of the knife, grab your thumb, put it in the front part of the knife, and your hand should be back here. No fingers up here. This is not stable. And what's going to happen is you're actually going to take your opposite hand, claw those fingers. This is called bear clawing it. And this protects your hand. You're just going to slice down. The knife should never really lift the table. You're basically just going through. And you're just going to cut that whole 3 pieces out. So the grater is going to be straight up in your bowl and use the largest part. So the part that has the large holes, and then grate down. Put your hand, turn it the other way. Now turn it like this. So it'll be like this. Yes. So literally when you start grating, you're going to actually take this off. when you hold the grater down, you're actually gonna hold it this way, kind of like this, and you're gonna go down, up and down, up and down. Keep your hands, yeah, watch your hands. You can chop this, but it actually, you would have to chop this really fine in order to put that in there. And if you have leftover cabbage, you can go ahead and chop that up, or not, you can just leave it to the side. How's it coming over there, guys? Cut those kind of small. Yeah, cut those kind of small. Yeah, you're gonna come and look and see how small mine are. You see how small these are? See that? That's kind of how small you want. So when you put the knife here, try to get it as close as you can. So you get little teeny pieces, because it's gotta go inside of this. And then once you're done with the cabbage, go ahead and I'm gonna demo how to actually grate your carrot. It's gonna be the same way. The only time you're using the knife is to actually cut the green onions. Can you cut those onions just a little bit smaller, William? Because it's gonna go inside your dumpling and it might poke out. So we want them kind of really small. This is probably 1/8 of an inch. How's it going over there? Good. Be careful and cut yourself. If you get to the point where it's too low, then just stop so you don't grate your knuckles, because that's not fun. Yes. And you're just gonna do the same thing with the carrot. You're gonna take your grater. You're gonna hold the carrot like this, okay? And then you're just gonna grate down. It's already washed, so you don't have to worry about it. You don't need to peel it. Organic carrots usually don't need to be peeled as long as you wash them. So you're just gonna grate the whole carrot into the bowl. Yep, just like that. And when it gets to the point where it's too small, then go ahead and stop. Like, so I'm gonna probably grate just a little bit more, then I'm gonna stop because I don't wanna like cut myself with these. These can get real sharp when you get too close to the end. Yeah, you can hold it kind of like a, let's see, like a fat crayon. Like, you know, when you were like really young and you have those big fat crayons and you used to hold it like that, that's how you hold the carrot. Yes, ma'am. Yep. And then keep the grater straight up and then just go up and down. Onions smell good. I know, don't they? I love green onions. They also keep your eyes from not burning, even though I usually teach how to actually keep your eyes from burning if you cut an actual full onion. I hope you guys are able to come back next month. We're doing sweet potato pancakes. Oh, I know, right? Oh, you just want to look and see? Okay. So this is once you got all of your vegetables cut, this is what it should look like inside your bowl, if you guys can see. And you're just gonna put everything in. This is actually a lot, so that's why you actually only use like 1/3 of everything, because when you start grating the cabbage, even just that small head makes a lot of cabbage. And you're probably gonna have leftover dumpling mix, so you guys will be able to take that with you. And I have some extra wonton wrappers too. I'll wrap those up, and you can make the rest of them at home. If it gets to the point where it's too small, go ahead and just take the big chunk out, and then you can just set it to the side. You don't have to use that part. Have you guys ever taken a cooking class before? No? Oh, well, this will be your first one. Well, welcome. Awesome. It is super fun. Do you guys cook at home? Yeah. Awesome.
So you do it once a month?
Yes, ma'am. This is once a month, and it's usually like the third or fourth Saturday next. The fourth Saturday. Yeah. Once you get all of your ingredients in, I'm just gonna go ahead and just show you. You guys can continue what you're doing. And I'm just gonna show you what you're gonna do to tofu. This is the part where you're gonna use your hands. You're just gonna take the tofu, you can squeeze some of the water out in the bowl. And then you're just gonna take it and then literally just like smash it with your hands. I know, right? It's very therapeutic. So he's like, oh, I get to play. If you want and you're not the kind of person that likes to get your hands dirty, you can always use a fork, but you know, sometimes cooking is about getting messy. You can always wash your hands. Exactly. Yes, you're just gonna crumple it all up inside the bowl. And then once you're done with that, you can go ahead and wash your hands. Exactly, exactly. So whatever water is still left in there, you just squeeze it out. Normally what you would do is take the tofu out and put it on a paper plate or towel, and then you're literally just gonna press the water out. And the reason we're using tofu, because this is like a binder. This is gonna bind the rest of the vegetables together. So the carrots, the cabbage, the tofu is actually like sticking to those vegetables, and it'll help stay together. That's the reason why you're using the tofu. And then once you get that all in there, you're just gonna mix that up. Exactly. It's a really cool recipe. It's actually pretty inexpensive. I usually get most of like on what I'm making. So wonton wrappers, I actually go to an Asian market that's in Jersey City, right off of like I-9. And I know they have a lot of Asian markets around the state, so they're not hard to find. And you just go to the section, it's the refrigerated section where they keep the tofu, and you'll find these. They do sell these at stores, but they're bigger, and you're gonna have to cut them. So that's the reason why I recommend actually going to an actual Asian market to get them, because they're already cut for you. How's it coming over at that table? Can you cut it just a little bit smaller? Yeah. And if not, wherever you're comfortable, you can just leave it at that and then just add it to your mix. And then we'll go ahead and get started with the seasonings.
Did you add anything already?
Not yet.
Okay.
So everything, all your seasonings are gonna be in those little cups, and then I'll go over it as we add it.
Bring it into the bowl.
Not yet. I'm gonna wait on this table right here. And then after everybody's washed their hands and we can know how to do that. You see how much this little bit of vegetables make? It makes a lot. So you wouldn't necessarily use a whole head of cabbage. I would definitely you could buy a whole head and then just take, so I bought 1 head of cabbage to cut for each of us to have cabbage, and I still have 1/4 left. It probably cost me, let me see, probably about, about $5.50 to $6 to make this recipe. And it's actually cheaper because you're actually taking one thing and you're actually cutting it in thirds. So I bought 2 packages of tofu and I cut it in thirds because a block of tofu is about 1 pound. And you cut 1/3 of that to put inside of this, and it still makes a lot. All right, after you've gotten that in, you're gonna take all your seasonings that are already measured for you. So you've got your onion powder, you just dump that in there. Your garlic powder, dump that in. Your chili powder, just dump that in there. And then you've got what is called sesame oil. Go ahead and add that to your mix. And just do just a little bit of soy sauce, just a little bit. We don't want it too soggy because what's gonna happen is once we start cooking this, the liquid from the cabbage is gonna start coming out. Yeah, just a little bit of the soy sauce, but everything else, the whole thing. All right, then we're going to put all of our utensils over to the side. The only thing you're going to need is your cutting board. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is you guys should have a plastic thing of wonton wrappers. Don't take them all the way out yet. I'm just gonna show you because what's gonna happen is we're gonna only pull out one. I'm gonna demonstrate first, and then I'll have you pull them out. Because if you leave them out in the air, what'll happen is they'll dry up. So we don't want that. So I'm just gonna pull one out first, and then I'm gonna show you what to do with it. Because this is the part of the instructions that's on the back that looks really complicated, but it really isn't. It's just when you write it out, it's like more words than, yeah, you have to explain it, which is really challenging. All right, so basically you should have a bowl of water on your table. You're actually gonna take your wonton wrapper, put it down flat. You're going to take your finger and dip it into the bowl of water and go around the circumference of the wonton wrapper. The reason we're doing this is because this is going to help it stick when we fold it. Then you should have your spoon, and you're going to take a spoonful of the mix and put it in the center of your wonton wrapper, just like that. Then you're going to take it, pick it up, fold it in half like a taco, and you're going to take, and if you want, you guys can come a little closer so you can see this part, because this is the part, this is the technical part. All right, you're going to actually pinch and fold, pinch and fold, pinch and fold. So you're going to do that until you get that side done like that, and then you're going to take the other side and do the same thing. Pinch and fold, pinch and fold, pinch and fold. So then that's what it should look like, right there, okay? And then you're just gonna leave it there, and once we get them all done, then we'll go ahead and start up our pan and get started cooking. You can actually steam these too in a steamer, so you don't necessarily have to fry them, but we don't have enough steamers to do that, so we're just gonna fry them up today. Okay, sure. So I'm gonna take the wrapper, and once you take one out, make sure you keep it closed, the rest of them closed up. So you take that one, take your finger, go around this way, go all the way around, And then you're gonna take a spoonful of the mix. Put it in the center, just like that. Might have just a wee bit more there. Okay, then you're gonna fold it like a taco. Okay, so you pinch it like that at the top, and then you're gonna take it, fold and pinch. So you're gonna fold it and pinch it towards your body. So fold and pinch, fold and pinch, fold and pinch. And then you're just gonna pinch the top, just like that. So fold and pinch, fold and pinch. Exactly. And the water is helping it stick to the top. Yeah, just like that. All right, guys, let's get pinching. And if you need some help, just let me know. I'll come around and assist you. You should have, like, I think it's 12 in there. And then if we need to get more, I have more in the refrigerator. We kind of want to work quickly because we don't want to have these dry out, so you guys can do it. If you got 2 people at your table, multiple people can do it at the same time, so you can get them knocked out.
I love it.
I know, right? This is fun too. It's like easy. It's a really fun thing to do at home, especially for dinner. And if you want to make this mix like the day before, you can do that too. So remember to fold it like a taco. Fold and pinch. Fold and pinch. Fold and pinch. Fold and pinch. Okay, that's cool. Whatever filling you have left over, don't worry about that. You're gonna get to take that home.
Yay.
I know, right? You can do this rest at home, have it for dinner. These go good with rice, and if you do eat meat, you can do some type of like chicken if you want to, or you can just eat them by themselves. You can take ground turkey meat. You want to do something that's small and thin. You don't want to do big pieces because what happens, you see the circumference of this, it's not big, and you put something in there too big, it's gonna tear. Yeah. All right, has everybody got all of their dumplings made? All right, so you should have a squeezed bottle of olive oil on your table here. We are gonna do what I call 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. That's basically like 2 tablespoons. So you're gonna squeeze that around your pan, and then you're going to press the start button, and your induction cooktop should come on. We're going to turn this to 350.
Okay.
Well, let me see. Let's do 360. And then we can turn it down because we want to heat the pan.
So 1 potato.
Two Mississippis. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
I embarrass my children.
Hey, that's okay. That's what they're here for. I know my mom used to do that to me. Be careful, be careful. Be careful. Once you get your olive oil in there, your pan's gonna heat up for about 2 minutes. These induction cooktops are electric, so they cook really fast. And then what we're gonna do is we're actually going to fry these. These can be made and then put in what is a bamboo steamer. I forgot to bring my steamer out, so I can show you. Yes, ma'am. And it should come on. And then when you press start, it might be at 370. So there's a minus and a plus sign on the side. Press the minus sign down to 360. No, it should be hot enough that you guys can go ahead and put your your dumplings inside. As long as you hear like a little sizzle. And if they fall over to the side, that's okay, because you're gonna cook them on both sides. All right, guys, go ahead and turn it up to 370. We want it to go ahead. I want to hear a sizzle. I don't hear a sizzle yet. You hear a sizzle? Okay. That's what you want to hear. You want to hear that sizzle. Because the sizzle means that the oil is hot at the right temperature. And then you should have a spatula. We're not going to keep flipping these. We're only going to flip them a couple of times so all sides can be brown. And then you should start seeing some browning. Once you start seeing some browning, you can go ahead and flip it over and do the next side. And if you find that you need a little bit more oil, do one Mississippi at a time. There you go. You're looking for kind of like a golden brown. It doesn't have to be like dark brown, but you want it kind of like a golden brown color, and then you're just gonna flip it over to the next side. Now, the more healthier version of this is actually to steam these. And the steaming part was, you could actually just take like a steamer, like a regular vegetable steamer, put it in a small skillet like this with water, and then set the dumplings in them, and then let them steam for about 5 to 7 minutes. And they look kind of translucent, but they're actually cooked. That's actually when I teach the other class, that's the other way that I teach it. But we usually use bamboo steamers to cook them in. So hopefully the next time I might do another version of this, and then we'll get a bamboo, everybody will have a bamboo steamer to use. And then I'm just gonna, while you guys are cooking these, I'm just gonna show you something. So you should have some plates on your table. Take one plate, and then you should have a napkin on your table. As you should have napkins on your table. Just open the napkin up, and this is what you're gonna put your dumplings on. So it'll like catch the oil. I don't cook a lot with oil like frying, but you know, it doesn't hurt to do this every now and then. These actually also, you can make what is called, so has anybody ever been to an Asian restaurant and had these things called crab ragoons? So it's actually made from wonton wrapper. The traditional is a wonton wrapper, and then they take imitation crab and like, I think it's like cream cheese, and then they put it inside, and then they do this like weird looking envelope fold that looks like a triangle. Yes, so those are called crab ragoons. And you can actually make that plant-based as well. You can use artichokes parts for the actual crab version. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my induction cooktop off. So the napkin is just to put it, so when you put it on the plate, it just absorbs the oil. Yeah. Because we're frying these, we're gonna take some of that oil off of it. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's how you make these. These are like super fun and easy. They're really tasty. The soy sauce is really more for the dipping.